recording. 5% CPU, 2660 kbps. Good morning, good afternoon, good middle of the night, and good middle of the day, wherever you are. I think I got enough tabs here that I should probably close a bunch. Quality is excellent. That's nice. Okay. Time to close things. wgpu. Hey there, good morning, Jeffo. Egui wgpu, egui w in it, GUI. Don't need this one. I arranged them like, here's Rust manual. There's the egui example. There's wgpu, egui documents, egui wgpu, egui winit, winit after egui algebra. That tutorial, we'll put that there. Rapier manual. Don't need this, right? This is just an example of the tri-mesh thing, so we already did that one. Don't need that one anymore. Clip space. They have nice pictures of all the spaces. The results. Oh, they only have. Yeah, well. Kind of feel like I should save that tab, right? So one of these, that can go. So this page here, homepage index, I should kind of like, you know what I should do is just add a row for all the libraries I'm using. So that would be open file, homepage index. One of these, right? Copy the whole thing and just delete the links out of it. So like project. Need one link. There we go. I don't need this extra bar. Okay, so I don't need a tab for this because I already have a shortcut for that. This one, right? Learning GPU. Go wgpu tutorial. egui. Do this more often, like the tabs just like archive them in my homepage, right? GPU. Yeah, there we go. Docs. WInit docs. Good morning, Nightshade Dude. Perk and Jay. Good damn. How are you guys all doing? Are traits interfaces? Yes, I think traits are interfaces. Did we talk about traits this morning? Where did I move my traits to? Did I move it to app? No, it moved to window, right? Window. Yeah. So here's a trait I defined for the abstraction to a window type, right? And have two implementations, WInit and fulltick. These ones implement the trait. So the bodies for the functions are in one place, and the declarations are in another. So I think that fits very well the idea of an interface. In C++, it would be a pure virtual base class. Now, there are lots of things that you could rightly call an interface. So a keyboard is a human interface. A function, even a pure function, is an interface to the functionality within it. Like calling the function is an interface. An interface is really just the way you use something. So a trait in this case, this abstract window, is just the way in which you would use either WInit or fulltick wrapper that I made. You also usually interface implies that there's a common way to use one of a set of different things that have the same interface. Although that's not always the case. Sometimes you have a unique interface that doesn't have to be an abstraction. It's just like it's a one-off. There, that's my little spiel on interfaces and traits. Yeah, I definitely think that traits qualify as a kind of interface. Okay, so all items. How do we get to the top? If I go to something and I click there, okay, that just getting the index, right? So this is egui wgpu docs. I have a feeling I'm going to want to organize this a little bit better. And this is the egui winit docs. Sort of follow a pattern, don't they? Name, 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 except for underscore instead of dash. Algebra. Algebra. What? Cleaning up my tabs. I love it. Okay, rapier. Read D. Hey there, spoof. Uh-oh, CHTML. Yeah, what I'm doing is I'm just modifying my homepage so I don't have to keep all these tabs. Okay, so like I want the doc. Here we go. Rapier docs, right? This is going to be confusing because they have Rapier 3D docs, Rapier docs. How about Rapier docs home? I don't know. WebGL? Also in WebGL. Very simple HTML. It's not something to get scared by. Okay, so now when I refresh that, look at all these new links that I got. Yeah, let's organize them a little bit better. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to copy this div. That's what I wanted to do. So how about we have docs, and then just pick out just the document ones. Here we go. Others. And then I can remove the word docs from here, right? Reload that. Now I'll just have quick doc links, right? Egui, or I got WNID. This is much better than to have multiple tabs, right? Okay, so I shouldn't have those other doc links, right? All these doc links should go. So just those? 6 of them? Yeah, okay. So what about home pages versus, I have 2 WebGLs too. Home pages versus like tutorials. So like tutorials. So that's wgpu and I think the, yeah, I do have an extra link there. I think the Rapier Docs Home counts as tutorials. Well, no, I think we'll say like homes. Well, projects. Not projects. Third-party project homepages. Stuff. Rose code is looking like it does look like HTML, doesn't it? Hey there, Cranky Code. I'm just trying to organize my homepage tabs because I had too many tabs in my browser there. What's 72 megabyte volume? What's that? Not found. Not found. How about, can I just delete it? That's weird. Mount volume? How do I get rid of this? Oh well. Stuff. Top levels? I'll just say projects. Because there we could put, so we have wgpu there. Projects is just like this wgpu egui rapier and WebGL. So, okay, I don't need the word tutorial there. So there we go. I got quick access to, here's the tutorials in wgpu. There's the project page for wgpu, rapier, egui, WebGL, and then the quick doc lookup like Algebra, Rapier 3D. I like it. Integration layers. Cool. Terminal U-mount, you gotta unmount it. Can't just delete a volume. Well, it's not mounted though. That's the thing. You think I have some weird mounts left over? Well, I guess it would be mount, right? What do we got mounted? Too many mount points these days. Back in my day, each mount point was just a hard disk. Can I like get more information about this? Given volume was not found. Given volume was not found. Can't look at properties because it's grayed out. Applications. Ralt on what? Slash? I don't know what the base, like whatever the desktop is on Ubuntu, I don't know where it's getting its volume information, I guess. Would be mount. Nothing there. I don't know where the stuff is. So like, where's this one? Media. Raimu? Nope, nothing there. Desktop. Good idea. Just the parallel shared folders. So these two, I don't know where they're coming from. Maybe it's time to reboot. I got some things in the trash. You would think that the trash would have an empty trash button. Like in a normal browser file explorer. It'll right click. To right click to find it. You know what'll probably solve that? Probably solve that would be a restart. Isn't that cool? I can restart it and it doesn't do anything to the stream. Actually watch the virtual machine boot up again. The kitty wants in. Should I let the kitty in? This is a hard question for me. The password for Raimu is Raimu. Oh, look, we cleaned it up. You know, that tells me that there's some leak. It's a kind of leak, right? What would we call that? A volume shortcut leak? Okay, so this tab I want VS Code, and this tab I want Chromium. There's Chromium and home. Don't need to restore it because I got my home pages. All right. We're done with the home page stuff. Kitten will destroy you if you don't allow entry willingly. Yeah, I'll probably get my face ripped off later. Got a cold purring kitty. Right? Are you purring? What do you think of this Rust code? You just want to see the window, don't you? Where are you going? I sit back. Oh, there. Okay. She's camera shy. She is a little bit. All right. So SDL2 is tabled for the meanwhile, right? So I just maybe work on to-dos. All right. So this was Jabfo said, why don't you use similarity to hold on to some of these things? So let's look up similarity. With my nifty new docs thing, I can go to Algebra, type similarity, see what it is. A uniform? I don't think that's how you do it. It's uniform, so it's a uniform. Keep your file safe by backing up regularly. Don't show again, thank you. Uniform scaling followed by rotation followed by translation. Isometry is the part of the similarity does not include the scaling factor. How do we use it? So there's a from parts, translation, rotation, and scaling. R is an abstract rotation, okay. Isometry, set scaling. There's an inverse in place, prepend scaling, append scaling, all these different things. Transform point, just multiplication. Transform vector, just a multiplication. Inverse transform vector. Cheaper than inverting the similarity and then transforming the given vector. So homogeneous. I mean, this looks kind of cool and like useful, but it doesn't really group together the separate things, right? It kind of forms something new out of it. If I look at the source, the isometry, look at that. Okay, I guess it is storing those things for me. Let me think about how I would use this. So, how do I use like rotation now? Okay, they just get sent to the renderer draw. Okay, but where do... Well, show me. Because it's here. Oh, because that's the in and then that's the out. Okay. So here, it would simplify this, I guess, right? Because I wouldn't have to like do this junk. I would just ask the similarity. Still, that name is sort of still tripping me up. Similarity. Why is it called a similarity? Similarity. I feel like there's some learning to be done here. So what would I look up? Like similarity linear algebra or something? Matrix similarity. Similarity mathematics. Similarity and diagonalization. Maybe I should use the other keyword that they had in there. Isometry. Oh, here we go. Similarity geometry. Oh, is it trying to say that like it's the properties of two objects that make them similar? So if they have the same translation, rotation, and scaling or whatever, then that is the similarity of two objects? Okay, well that's sort of a weird way to use that term, isn't it? Sort of get it, but mathematicians are weird. Do you know the Rust search extension? No, I don't know the Rust search extension. Should I try the Rust search extension? Kitty is back, by the way. Kitty is right there. Right over here. So yeah, I would be able to simplify a lot of this, right? This convert is doing a 64 to 32 conversion. I would still do this. It's just the model transform would get easier. It would just be taking the similarity and turning it into a matrix. Okay, well, let's play with it. Where do I get these things from? The instance, model instances, render instance. So basically, this would be a well, guessing that I put the type there. 3 generic arguments. Well, that's gross. I have to actually put the types for translation, rotation, and scale. Why do they have to use single letters? Why can't they use full words? I guess D is scaling, R is rotation, T is translation. Why do they have to use these single letters? Somehow I had set a alarm that just expired. Weird. Rust.extension.sh. Copy link. Paste link. Whoa, it's all yellow. Ah! How do I have it not be yellow? I'll just scroll down. Endure the yellow so I can read this. Search docs. The ultimate searcher. I can't stand it. Okay. What does it do? Oh, I see. It's just like a search thing for the browser. It doesn't really fit a need that I have, though, because I can just go to home libs and then type it in, right? Right? That gets me there pretty quick. I got there pretty quick. So I maybe save myself 5 seconds. Similarity is a type as you would actually use. Similarity 3. Okay. So spoof, it looks good, but I guess I just don't feel like, well, what should I do with that? I should probably put that somewhere. Okay, this is what I'll do, spoof. The next time I get frustrated not being able to find something in Rust, I will try that link. So that means that we should keep it around. So file, open recent, where's the homepage index? There it is. I'll put it under Rust. Rust is kind of getting kind of crowded though, right? And then get it. How about we put it next to monkey type under tools? Yeah. Search extension. We'll try it the next time I get frustrated not being able to find something. Ah, it's all yellow. I don't like the yellow. Okay, can we tell those guys, like, don't make it so bright yellow? Like, it seriously, like, this early in the morning, it just, like, it aggravates me. I don't know what else to say about that. Okay, so you're saying a similarity 3 is what I want. Okay, why similarity 3? Oh, 3-dimensional similarity. T. Okay, so T was not translation. T was just the type of the units in each dimension. So the precision. And I guess you can either have a unit quaternion or you can have something else there. And then 3 is the number of dimensions. Oh, D for dimensions. See, this is why I think it's a stupid idea to use single letter type alias placeholders, because unless you describe what those mean in your documentation, I just have to guess that, and I guessed wrong. I thought that was translation, rotation, and I like D. I don't know what D is. They should say T is the type of each dimensional unit. R is rotation. D is number of dimensions. They should just literally say that here. This is where Rust is annoying. But it's not Rust's fault. It's the people who designed this library. I guess they were, when they learned Rust, they were like, oh, we have to use single letters for type placeholders and lifetime names. We have to do that because that's how we were taught. No, you don't. You can use full names. Use I don't know, unit and rotation and dimensions, like actually have real words there, not single letters. Claudisometry, scalar, rotation. Yeah, that would be so much easier to read, Spoof, wouldn't it? I'd be like, it'd be obvious what each type is. Not these single. Okay, I'm done. I'm done complaining. No more complaining from me. Let's try to use a similarity. So if I had a similarity, scale, rotation, and translation are really just all going into this model transform. So then does that mean that instead of this, essentially just model transform equals instance dot similarity dot to homogeneous? Oh, that's so much nicer. That. Just let it figure it out for me based off of the components of a similarity. I'm liking it. Okay, did I miss your code, Tinspin, or are you repeating from a previous stream? You still code C from 1970 and Java from 1990 and you're happy. What does that have to do with my complaining? Doesn't C++ from 1990 have the same problem, Tinspin? Didn't they teach people to use T for the placeholder for templates? Template. Type name T. It's like, why didn't you actually use a real word there? Oh, his complaining is older than mine. I get it. You don't use C++? Fair. Okay, is there something in C where it's single letters that I can complain about? Just kidding. Do you also run on a PDP-11? He probably runs it on his Apple II, right? Well, they didn't have Java for Apple II. It was Apple Basic and Pascal and Turbo C, right? Use C64, Commodore 64 daily. Tinspin, you sound like my dad. I'm sorry. He still uses his Apple II daily. Actually, I think that might not be true anymore. I think it actually broke finally. Sounds like hell. Only strings, stream, and namespace. I mean, if you get really good at the fundamentals of a language, do you really need anything fancy, shiny new? Motion to photon latency. It's fast. It's got the fastest motion to photon latency. An algebra library name should also be generic. That's true. Are you saying that this is because it's made by mathematicians and mathematicians love single letter identifiers? That's fair. So then, really what they should do here, these should be Greek letters, right? It should be like tau and phi and sigma. Let me figure out what that means, right? I can't even draw the damn letters. Rust, you need type, the lifetime, all that jazz is kind of ridiculous. Yeah, but we can still use longer names. Come on. Definitions end up with 40 character lines. That just gives you pressure to make the names more concise, but still understandable and readable. Hey, we need some kind of challenge as developers, right? Rust doesn't allow non-ASCII identifiers. Not yet, right? I bet there's a page for that somewhere. When will Rust support non-ASCII and identifiers? You seen the language Dreambird? No, but have you seen the language Swift, which does allow non-ASCII and identifiers? You can have emoji variable names. Switch to Vim and you're trying to find a color scheme that matches VS Code. None of them really work right. I want that color scheme back. I hear you. Have you seen Mojo? No, haven't seen Mojo. Haven't seen Dreambird. It allows overlining language keywords. That's interesting. You can kind of customize the tokens. That should be a thing, right? If I don't like the word fn and I wanted it to say function, shouldn't I be able to do that by telling Rust, hey, teach your token, your lexer, teach your lexer that this is the same as fn and let me use fn for something else. That should be a thing, right? You can specify object lifetimes in Dreamweaver with time in seconds. That's not the same thing. That's not a lifetime. That's an interval, I guess. Life interval? I guess lifetime in Rust isn't really a great word anyway. It's more of like scope, right? The scope of a name. How long is that name in scope? How long is it accessible? Should be like accessibility or scope or something like that. Anyway, I'm getting way off track. We need to fix the errors. So I have errors because we're assembling this incorrectly, right? So instead of these, I could build the similarity here. From parts, translation, rotation scale. Almost. Will scale fit there? Scale fit there. Translation doesn't fit. Why? Because they want a translation, not a matrix. Okay, fair enough. So can I turn a matrix back into a translation? From matrix, maybe? What's TR from? Fills this matrix with the content of the transpose of an... Oh, it's a transpose. Okay. Need to get it like to a translation. There's always try into unwrap. Ooh, that actually works? Wow. I didn't expect that to work. I was just hopeful that it would work. I suppose it's unwrapped because it might not fit into a translation. How does this actually work? So, you telling me that translation implements like a try from matrix somewhere? Debug hash serialize, deserialize, translation from vector. So they probably have a from. It's probably a try. Okay, I don't know how to look it up, but okay, that's kind of cool. Not gonna lie. Let's just give it a try. So cargo run release. Translation influence from matrix. It's using the try from. So I don't even need to unwrap. I can just do from the matrix. From the matrix. Hey, look, it didn't break. All right. So I don't need I could just do into. You're saying? Look at that. You're right. You're right. I missed a bunch of chat. Dreambird is a meme language. Uses .fire as a file extension. How are you even representing a translation with a matrix? It's a homogeneous matrix. It's 4x4. Yeah. So maybe I don't need to do that. Let's trace this back, right? How did we get this thing? We got it from instance, which we got from model drawing instance, which comes from here. This thing, right? So let's see where all the references are. So it came from the app. Okay, and the translation came from the instance. So yeah, this translation took a 3D vector and cast it. Okay, no, the translation is a vector at that point. It's not a matrix. So how did it turn into a matrix? No, it never did. It was a vector. Right. It just looks like a matrix when you mouse over it. It's a matrix of dimensions 3 by 1. So it's a vector 3 really. So, and we can easily do a vector 3 into a translation because that's just a component by component copy, right? Yeah, it's a vector 3. It's just a type alias. So you're saying that translation is just a type. No, it's not a type alias. It's a wrapper for a vector of the same size in dimension. Now, why do they do that? Why don't they just do a type alias? I don't know. Probably because they want the semantics of a translation to be different from a vector, right? And it's probably easier to do it as a struct rather than a new type because they can actually give a name to it. Makes sense to me. So it's a wrapper for a vector that you use differently. And vector 3 is a type alias for matrix 3. Oh, right. Okay. We have many types we're talking about, and you're right. And that's tripped me up a bunch of times, right? Well, I'll be looking at this and like, oh, look, it's a matrix. And then I have to look more carefully and like, oh, one of the dimensions is 1. That means it's really a vector. And a mathematician would kind of slap me and say, all vectors are matrices. And then I'd say, well, it's not a square matrix unless it's in one dimension. It's a rectangular, non-square matrix. Uh-oh. Yeah, the cat's being bad. I gotta eject the cat from the office. Hold on. Bad. Wait. Okay, never mind. The cat redeemed herself by voluntarily walking out of the forbidden area of the office. She's learning. She's learning what she's allowed to do and what she's not allowed to do. Sitting over there behind chat, see? Way up there in the corner. Hi. Hey, kitty. Hey, kitty. All right. 7:42. Okay. I've been going 42 minutes. Not really doing much. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to chase this back, right? This instance, model drawing instances. That's where we were considering using it. I think that if that's the only place we're using those fields, like translation, rotation, scale, then I think yeah, we move this back. So this where it's used right there. We put here, there, and here it's pub. And we not only considered it, we did it. Oh, I put this in the wrong spot? Or wait, in both. Oh, similarity, that's right. And I don't need that anymore. Cool. I have one error, that it's not imported. Nice. Okay, I'm sold. As long as those 3 elements are all used together, and I don't need to break them apart again, then I'm okay with it. If we were putting them together only to later take this and pull scale, rotation, and translation apart from it again, then I probably wouldn't put it into this. So can I go even further back? I don't think I can because scale is a variable of self, but rotation and translation, we have to go to the physics engine for that. So they're literally coming from different places. But you know, one thing I could do, because scale is only used to form the similarity, and so are rotation and translation, I could make another method here. Is this used anywhere else but there? No. So why don't we just change this to be similarity? And then we'll return a similarity. Okay, and then this is similarity 3, right? From, okay, we're gonna have to import that. From parts. Rotation. Translation, rotation, scaling. So translation goes first, then rotation, and then scaling. Self.scale. Similarity typo function name. Thank you. Appreciate that. Mismatch types. Expected translation found a so that we need it into, right? Basically saying wrap that. Okay, and then here, can I just do like identity? That would be cool. Let's see. Is there an identity similarity? There is. Do I need scale anywhere else? No, I don't. So we don't need scale. That all goes into, oh, hey, get off my ring light. Okay, now you're being bad. Cat's being a bad cat. Whoa, whoa. Okay, had to eject the cat from the office again. XFCE is awesome. I'm glad you like it too. Hey, we're using Ubuntu with XFCE on a Parallels VM. Okay, so this becomes just similarity, right? Can't spell. So it's just instant similarity. Don't need the scale, and I don't need to do this anymore. Neat. Why don't I just have the instance make me a model drawing instance? Is that going to cross concerns to have drawing, which is a subset of models, constructed from this instance? I don't like how it opens it up in another pane like that. Does this use anything else from drawing? No, it doesn't. I could have it do that though, right? That'd be simpler. It just seems like this is like unnecessary. This map maybe is not really that necessary. Or like I should say the body of this map should maybe be something the instance can do, right? Because it's really just taking 3 things and putting it in there. But it does cross concerns, right? How does this get model drawing instance? I'm not seeing it. Ah, there it is. From drawing, which we don't need to say self for that, right? Yes. I thought that was inside of models, but it's not. No, it's from the app. Okay, so it really does stay. Let's have it stay in the app then. Just fix these other warnings. That doesn't need similarity 3 because we do that elsewhere. This doesn't need the constituents anymore. Drawing doesn't need vector 3 anymore for some reason. Warnings in model. Oh, well, let's clean that up. So maybe we don't even need this wrapper anymore. I'm gonna keep it because if we need to render more than, if we need more than that to render, then we'll just add to that structure. Cool. Someone asked that yesterday. Is this Xubuntu? And I don't know. I didn't download the OS installer from the Xubuntu site. I went to the Ubuntu site, I think, and they offered an XFCE ARM64 build, and that's what I downloaded. I don't know if Xubuntu is the same thing. When I do about, it doesn't say Xubuntu. It says Ubuntu. Oh, wait, it does say Xubuntu. Never mind. I didn't see that yesterday. So the answer is yes, this is Xubuntu. Should I put that in the OS command? Let's do that. So Rimo uses Xubuntu, which is Ubuntu with XFCE. There we go. We fixed it. Thank you, Zebasnaga3. So now it's clear. It uses Xubuntu. Yeah, it's on Parallels on a Mac Studio. That's why I had to pick a distro where the architecture is ARM64. So when I do a uname, it's AArch64. Okay. I don't remember deleting the blocks and moving them. I guess I did that yesterday and I forgot to check it in. So what did I change? Changed a bunch of stuff. Oh, right. I broke up the app. I added drawing. Okay, that was the biggest change. Break. Well, this is refactoring, right? Break app internal state into drawing and non-drawing parts. And use similarity tree to, I guess, simplify. Usage of translation, rotation, scale for drawing. Cool. Hitting the wrong key, that's right. What is it? What's rewrap? Alt Q. Alt Q. There we go. I'm like the worst when it comes to like remembering keybinds. Oh man, I got a mosquito bite on my face. Man, the worst. Now my face is gonna itch. Okay, anyway, what's next? All right, there's a lot of vestigial qualities here. So this model's repaint after is always 0. So the minimum here is always going to be a 0, which means we're always going to do the max of now plus that. So let's just simplify this. So we don't really need the egui outputs repaint after because we're just always immediately repainting up to the max draw rate, right? Yeah. We'd only use the repaint after if we weren't displaying at 60 FPS. Okay, there, I cleaned it up. Repaint. Okay, so it's not this. It's not whichever happens first. It's repaint after or on the next frame at the next frame time, which could be now if we've already passed the last plus 1 frame, right? And this means we're late. This means we're not late. If we're late, repaint now. If we're not late, wait a little bit. Okay, what other to-dos do I have? Well, hold on. Before I do that, sure I didn't break it. Still S60. Doesn't matter if we do a bunch of stuff, it still stays around 60. Cool. All right, next. Consider moving these into an impl camera. Well, I did. I moved them into a camera. Oh, it was that. What's these? Oh, these 2 statements? Yes? I think that's what it is. It's that self camera would have a function that updates its view perspective transform and its clip to world transform based off of the projection, view, and view perspective. I don't think I need to do that. Okay, I've considered it and decided I don't need to do that. I think I will like to fix these names though. I want to follow this convention that they're really coordinate transformations from one space to another. So if this is clip to world, what's view? View is world to camera. Projection would be camera to clip. View perspective would be world to clip. Right? See if that makes sense. The camera to clip is perspective matrix. So, right, clip to world is world to clip inverted. World to clip is world to camera, camera to clip, right? Composed. Dot. I like it. Let's rename this. World to clip. Where do we use this? Ah. World to clip. Model transform is really model to world. You can get rid of this. Shouldn't this be just model to world? So whenever I see something to something else, I'm going to think coordinate transform. It just so happens this coordinate transform is described as using a similarity. Then we immediately turn it into a homogeneous matrix. We could have done that earlier, I guess. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter where it's done. It's got to be done for every model. Okay. Look for the word transform. That's fine. Right, here we go. Where do we use this? It doesn't know. Why doesn't it know? I need to save all first. Nope, don't need to save all. Why can it not find that? Okay, well, let's rename it, I guess. No references found. What? Can I rename it here? Okay. Do I need to like, what's this? Points forwarded? The heck? Forwarded ports? I don't care about that. Why did that pop up? Must be something new to VS Code. Forwarded ports, that's something new, isn't it? Access your local running services over the internet. That's kind of cool. Don't need it. I would like to know why it can't find references to this. Can I like reload Rust Analyzer? Okay, now do you know what this is? No. It's not, there's nothing wrong with it. Ugh. I hate it when my tools break. They'll just have to do it in all, well, I guess I can do a search replace, right? So what are we calling this? It's, view perspective is world to clip, right? Replace all. Yes. Okay, well, at least replace all worked. All right. It's our playground. Full. World to clip. Model to world. So that's model to clip. Yeah, okay. Okay, all right, I'm happy. Check it in. Really just renaming transforms. So it commit. Refactoring. Well, we can just say what it is, right? Rename transforms to use consistent terms. Close, close. Workspace clean. Send it out of the virtual machine. All right. Still doing this? Wait, thought I got rid of that. Wait, what? Identity? So this can probably be shortened, right? Okay, my Rust analyzer is like all messed up now. Close everything. Why does it still think I have stage changes? Nothing. No. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna restart. Why does it say debug restart? Close VS Code. Open VS Code. Okay. Why was there such a long pause there? Hmm. Wait, what? We have an error? No proc macros present for crate. Loading? What? And now it went away. Mystery deepens. Yeah, but I'm not getting my hints from this anymore. I broke it somehow. Well, at least the formatter works, but I'm not getting type hints. What broke? Okay, I get hints from main. That module works. How come this one's not giving me hints anymore? What about ground? Nothing from ground. Nothing from cube. Models I have type hints. Wait. Is this an old file? Ah, this is an old file. I have merged all this stuff into models. That's what's confusing me. Where is it? Renderer, right? Impl renderer draw. This is the old version of it. So that needs to go because that's really confusing me. So delete, move to trash. That's why I wasn't getting help from it. Because they're like, it literally isn't included anymore. Okay. That scared me. I had merged that file into its parent and I just forgot to delete the original. So let's do that. Delete old file we merged. That was merged to parent earlier. Not too many words. Send. Okay. That's why I wasn't getting type hints. That's why I saw some old code in there. Now I'm not freaking out anymore. Interesting I don't get type hints from these, but I guess that's because these are just that's a macro invocation, and that's just a constant, right? Same thing with ground. Yeah, there's no code there to get type hints for. All right, how are we doing on to-dos? Okay, we're done with to-dos. We just have it someday to support SDL2. And then I have something here. Maybe we should have the renderer do this part. Maybe wrapping the new call to go through the renderer first. Right, it had to do with how this is used, right? For the cube and the ground. The fact that we had to have made a texture bind group in advance. But why are we not doing the same thing for the vertices? Like they could be pre-processed first. Because we're only really using vertices and indices to form the buffers, right? And that's why we had to pass device in. The idea was that instead of passing vertices, indices, and device, we would just pass in two buffers, right? Two buffers, like vertex attribute buffer, index buffer. We just pass those in We'd also have to pass a number of indices separate. But we wouldn't need the device anymore. That would be the caller's responsibility. It would be done here. So we wouldn't have to borrow out of self to do that. Why did I say to do it in the renderer though? Guess I should look and see where do we create this texture bind group? Oh yeah, that's why, because we went to the renderer to build it. Why did I go to the renderer to build it? What does it use self for? For the texture bind group layout. Okay, but this could just be a free function. We don't have to go through the renderer to do this part. It could just be a free function, right? I think so. Where's that defined? Same module. Okay. All right. I think that's why I left it a note, because it didn't really have a strong feeling that this should move. I just thought that it sort of didn't belong. I'm going to keep it though, so that means I'm going to get rid of the note. So we're really going to have only one note left, which is to revisit SDL2 at someday. Okay, check that in. Check that in. Resolve the note. All right. It's been a long time since I actually had fun with this project, right? I've been cleaning up this project for days. So maybe have a little bit of fun. What to do? I think we should add more types of cubes, since I have a whole big texture atlas to play with, right? Wait, error loading web view, error could not register service worker invalid state? What? I can't see my graphic anymore? Ah! Document's in invalid state? VS Code, you're not happy today, apparently. Can I please open my texture atlas? There it is. Who knows why it was in a bad state, but here's my texture atlas. It's stolen from Minecraft, right? I have some extra blocks in here I could play with. What would be a fun one? So we're using the grass one, the cobblestone one. How about sand? That's really easy. It's one next to cobblestone, right? It's one next to it. So let's go to models, I think it was. No, it was in app, right? Maybe it was in models. Oh, Rust Analyzer is still loading, so it can't help me. It's where I define the types. Was it right here? Public cube ground macros. Where did I define the types? Oh, it's gonna be outside of this, right? Yeah. It would be I guess it would be an app. Oh, Rust Analyzer's done. Here it is, model type. Sand. We've added a new type of model. It is never used. Let's see where grass is used. Find all references to grass. All right, here we go. So we're gonna have a new kind of model. This model is going to be sand. So we're going to have sand UVs. First cube's grass, that's fine. Model types, here we go. We're going to add it. Type sand. This is the model types we pick from randomly when we make a new cube, right? Okay, so then we need, let's put sand next to grass in our blocks. Sand. Okay, and then if, actually it would have been easier to copy from cobblestone, right? Yep. Because it's the same texture, only one to the left. So instead of 6, it's 5. So take all these 6s and turn them into 5s, and we're done. That's how easy it is, hopefully, to add a new kind of block. Now when I make random blocks, we should have 1/3 of every type. Oh, look at that. Now we have sand. All right, what else can I do for fun here? What kind of block should I add? Something like lava would be hard, right? Because I need to have an animated thing. Same thing with fire. Something that's not animated yet. Well, there's wood block, there's pistons, there's pumpkins. One of the ores? But isn't that sort of just like stone, but it's just one of these like repeated 6 times, right? Sure, let's add gold blocks. So which texture number is that? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Gold is 23. Gold orb 23. I did it. Okay, so find all the sand here. Gold ore. All references. And then just define it. Next best thing would probably be one of the workstations, yeah. Just want to have more variety of like blocks. There we have gold in there. Maybe I should have made it redstone instead of gold. Kaboom! All right. What else could we do with this to play around? That wouldn't be too hard. Oh, I think I remember what it was. I wanted like right click to be like create a cube and like fire it straight forward from the camera's angle. Like shoot a block, right? And here's where I can make it a little bit more fun. I could have a unique kind of block that when we shoot it, it's the only kind of block we ever see. So close that. Go back to here. What if I like have a which color is unrepresented? Maybe diamond. What if we made a diamond block that we shoot? So let's get the coordinates right. What row is it on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's on row 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. On column 9. 9 by 8. Okay. We can do this. 9 by 8. So this is diamond block. 9 by 8. Okay, and then app, I think, yeah. Diamond block. Because there's also diamond items in the game, right? Okay. And we're not using it yet, but we will. My idea was that back in the where is it? In the app. No, we need to have a different kind of event type for a right click, right? So that's in window. Abstract event, right? So let's add another one like right click or something. Or I can just say mouse down and I can have an index, right? Sure, let's change this type. So position. Gonna be inconsistent with mouse up and mouse move though. Do I care? I do care. So I should do this for all three of these for now. Okay, now let me just fix the errors before I move on. So yeah, that's as easy as doing cursor there, there, and there, turning that into a brace, turning that into an end brace, selecting the whole word. It's that, right? Okay, there's more errors. Okay, in the actual implementations, we got to fix them, right? In here. Right. Okay, so there and there and there. Brace, go over a word. And brace. And these two we got to dereference. How about if we dereference? Can I like dereference them here by putting a borrow? Yeah. Okay. So then it's consistent and got to go back to full tick. We got to maintain our concrete classes, right? Okay, now I just got warnings. What's the warning? Probably that I'm not using that, so I can just do a dot dot. Or warnings. Oh, because I'm not using diamond block yet. All right, so then the next thing I want to do was for all of these, I guess, we're going to add like which one? Which? A pointer, I guess? Device? I think they call it device. Mouse. Like which button, right? Button. Mouse move won't have a button though. Okay, and then pub enum mouse button left right. Okay. I'll have to look up how we get that for full tick. How about we just pretend for now that it's always the left button. Abstract mouse button. And then import that from It should come from there. So, wait. Ah, yeah, that should be called that. There we go. Okay. Yeah, just for now, we'll just always say it's the left mouse button. We're doing this one step at a time. Okay, in the app, and we're going to be getting the button. So we don't care for now, right? Make sure nothing broke. Yeah, we're not using the right mouse button yet. Not yet. Cool. Okay, one step at a time. So if we had a button here, how would I use it? I would probably do a match here. And I'd put what we used to have here in the left mouse button. And in the right, we would have a different kind of thing. So it would be like just shoot a diamond block at the scene, right? So let's just have a new method. Self shoot diamond block. So yeah, mute self, right? Do. Let's just do just to see that we actually get the message through. Bang. All right, and then for mouse up, we also are sensitive on the button, right? Because the same thing. We only want to do this, to act on this if it's the left mouse button. And same thing for mouse move, actually. No, that's not true. So for the mouse move, it's only if we have a drag anchor. So we leave that code alone. So if I held down the right mouse button and moved, it would skip this. If I held down the left mouse button and moved, it would do this. If I held down the left mouse button and then clicked the right mouse button down and up, then yeah, we don't want to shoot it on mouse up. We want to do nothing. It'll still drag because the right mouse button is independent of the left, and we can still drag if we're holding down the left mouse button, right? Okay, that's what I want. So let me make sure they didn't break anything. I like to make sure I don't break anything one step at a time. I guess I'm kind of cautious today. Okay. Nothing's broken. We're all good. All right. So then to actually connect the mouse button, because right now if I actually, what happens if I use the right mouse button? Right mouse button has no effect. Not interpreting it at all. So that's in W init. Because I have it matched on the left mouse button, right? Okay, so what if I just use the button and then I do a match on the button to get the button here? That's what I want, right? So let button equal match button. It has to be outside the match state. So we need another scope. remove that. Really, we're gonna take that into the clipboard, fill the match arm, and paste. Actually, that's what I wanted. Didn't need to put in the clipboard. Right, so the I just need to translate here. So it's abstract mouse button left goes here. And then right middle button and other, let's just have it do like if we any of those get pressed, I guess we skip. Yeah, we just return. Shortcut out of here, right? And then button goes here instead of this stuff. So delete. Cool. So now the right click should get through and we should see bang. Hello, what game am I developing? I'm not developing a game. I'm just playing around with some graphics libraries. So if you want to know what those graphics libraries are, today command says it. So wgpu for graphics, egui for the user interface, and rapier for the physics engine. That does that. So I just stole some Minecraft textures to play around with, but we're not really making anything more than just like it's a test or a sandbox or a playground just to get familiar with those libraries. So right now I'm adding right click because I want to have some fun. Right click just prints out bang, but what I wanted to do is shoot a high velocity diamond block at whatever I'm pointing at. And so that lets me learn about the I think it's CCD in the physics engine, so that it doesn't skip past these blocks, it actually collides with them. So that's what I'm intending to do with this exercise, is learn how to actually enable the mode in the physics engine that allows me to shoot high velocity projectiles. Okay, so I connected the right mouse button. I didn't do it for full tick, but maybe I leave that as a to-do, or maybe it's easy. I just need to like figure out what is the event, like, or how do we get the button? We can't just assume it's left click, right? So I guess I'll look it up in the manual. Oh, I don't have a link for that, so we'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way. Actually, let me try to stick to the habit of whenever we want to have something on the homepage, we actually add it there. So that would be open recent, homepage index, docs, right? href equals paste full tick. So then I can go over here and I can go home, full tick, and I'm back here. All right, so then I want a mouse event, right? App event, is it? Returns the captured button event. Okay, that's easy. So 1 for left key, 2 for middle, 3 for right. It's event button. So I would put it in here, right? Let button equal event button, full tick app event button, match that, and they said 1 was the left arrow, or left button, right? And 3, right? 3 was the right, yep. And anything else, we'll ignore this event. So that was like return false or something, right? Yeah, that's return false. Okay, and then we just put button in here. I suppose we just move this out. No, don't move it out. We only want it for push and release. Yeah, which means I should probably make this a helper function, which I'm going to do. So we're going to take that and we're going to right click, refactor into function, and we'll call that function translate, but what What happened? Translate button. Okay, let's make that an option instead of a result with the bool, and so that'll be sum with a return none. Okay, and then up here where we use it, right? So it's let button equal translate point let sum button translate button else return false. Right? And then let's repeat that here. Okay, let's test it. So this had to do double dash, 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 or not dash, dash, just full tick. Okay. 8:30, I got another hour. Okay, right click says bang, left click works. Cool. All right, let's actually make the bang do something. So instead of bang, I want to create the diamond block, and then I want to give it a lot of initial velocities shooting straight out. So that's two things. So first, create the block. I had to self.new cube model type diamond block position. We want to put it right at the camera. Camera position. Rotation, we want it to be like camera orientation. Scale. Let's make it smallish, so like maybe 0.25. That's all I need to do, right? I get an instance handle, but I don't really care, right? Or maybe I assign that to selected cube. So now the job is to calculate the camera position. So I do that in when we do drawing, right? So I can just look, what do we do for that? Draw. Where do we draw? Oh, I moved that to drawing stuff, which is in another module. Let's close everything else and go to drawing under app here. Okay, so then draw, right? Draw models. Model renderer draw? Ah, this world to clip. Where do we get that from? Self camera world to clip. Perfect. So I can take that and just translate. I want to take a world position. I want to take a clip position of 0, 0, 0, right? And convert that to the world. Oh, I did this one other place. Where was it? It was when we left click in the world, right? To select something. So what was that? Was handle, message, event, something. Kick, reset, add. I don't know where it was. Call hierarchy. Is it here? That's any oh, not that kind of message. Yeah, it was what was it? Where did I call this stuff? Event, right? It was an event. Mouse down. Was it this one? Drag start? Yeah, here it is. Here's where I did it. I took 0, 0, 0 and I mapped it to the world and I got the camera. So we just want to steal this, I think. Actually, I need this too because this is what is this? This is converting the clip position back into the world to give like the target. And then we compute the direction. Yeah, I want all this stuff, really. Let's steal it. I guess it's all this stuff, right? Let's do that much of it. Okay, and then back to where I was editing. Okay, so then paste all that junk. Self-drawing camera, world to camera. Invert that. And I feel like since we do this in two places, then shouldn't this be like get camera world position? So what if I refactor that to a function called camera world position? Okay, this should just be vector 3. The refactoring tool doesn't know. I could just say vector 3 there. Self-drawing camera, world to camera, try inverse, map, all this junk, but it's all wrapped up into one easy to call function, right? Camera world position. So that was under handle, then drag start. Yeah. So I can also use it there. Delete this junk. Okay. So I should probably refactor this too, right? So this code that handles selecting in the world and the other code that's going to shoot something into the world are going to be slightly different, right? I guess we still get the same ray, but it's going to be a different type. It's not going to be ray. It's going to be like vector 3. So let's just refactor this part of it. Function. This is going to be like, I don't know. Flip position to world. Or position clip to world. So given a position, well, yeah, these, can I like select? I can't. Well, if I do two cursors at once, and then I do this and make this vector 3, go down. Yeah, this will work. There. Let the world is that. Okay. Position X and Y. So that's a vector 2, really. Right? Because it's just an X and a Y. And this is just knowing how big our screen is. And then we do that. Okay, cool. So then I don't really need to say that. I can do that. That's a little bit shorter. Okay, so then where's that used? It's up nowhere. Because we got errors. Right, so I didn't actually rename it correctly. And it lost its mind. There, fixed it. Okay, we don't have a position yet, but we will because I can see how this is done. Copy it. We're going to kind of want some of that stuff, right? So down. Yeah, so this is redundant. Okay, we're not doing casting of all that stuff. Okay, so it's not that we want the ray new camera in the direction. This camera position is that. Camera orientation is direction. So it's world. This is like target. Target position. So actually, we don't need to say position, right? That's a little bit redundant. So I'm going to remove the position part. Same here. We don't need that. So camera, so like this camera orientation is sort of a long word. What do we want to call it instead? Like, I don't know, direction? The direction will be target. From the camera to the target, which should be target minus camera. Okay, we need a position here, right? Vector to, I don't know the type here. Let's guess that it's U32. I don't know. Whatever this takes. F64. Wow. Okay. All right. Types are not right. What's the type? That's a vector vector 3 of F64. Okay, so I need to downcast it. So it's it would be camera dot. It would be how is this? Is an algebra convert, or is it just convert? Convert, right? Now I can't remember. Is it convert? Not convert. Anybody remember? I'll have to just kind of look through and see where we do this stuff. Cast? It's this, right? It's this. Cast. Camera cast is 32-bit. Okay. And the direction, same thing, right? Cast to 32-bit. No, no, this is different, right? This is a rotation. I don't really care about the rotation. What if I just make it a unit? Yeah, the direction I actually have to add as the velocity to the cube. So yeah, we'll do that in a second. So this is just unit quaternion identity, right? So now if I just do it as it is, it's just going to drop a diamond block from where the camera is. Let's see it. Let's actually see that. Error. We have an error. Oh, because this needed the position borrowed, right? Okay. So without any velocity, it's going to be boring. It's going to be like, it just drops it straight down from the camera. Which we can't even see because, oh, it's not even doing it. Because cubes isn't incrementing. Is that? Not working at all. So what did I do wrong? Shoot diamond block. The warning give me some, okay, that is true. That needs to be a semicolon. It should have selected it, so I should have looked to see what the coordinates were shown for it. Nope, it's not actually adding it. We're not seeing any coordinates added. Okay, so that's not working. This is not working. Why is this not working? Oh, because we never added the model for it. Shoot. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, where do we set up the models? That's like in new somewhere, right? So the renderers build our state, create models. Yep, we never made it. Let's make it. So we're gonna make the model for the diamond block. Diamond block UVs, diamond block, right? Okay, now we're gonna make a diamond block, hopefully. But it's still not gonna have the velocity we want. It's just gonna drop like a rock. It's gonna drop like a diamond. Yep, there it goes. See it? There it goes. It's right there. If I put the camera above a certain spot and then drop it, yeah. That's weird. Why did it put way over there? There we go. I think it's because I had the camera back. Yeah. Wait, did it fall through the world? Oh, that's odd. Is the camera position not correct? It should like drop it straight down there. Where's it going? It's falling through the world. Did I screw up and not give it a collider shape or something? Yeah, it's falling through the world. I think I screwed it up somehow. When we create the model, hold on. When I create the diamond block, maybe. No, it makes a rigid body handle. New cube body. It created a collider with the right scale. That's odd. So why is it falling through the ground? I can understand that if we put it there, it's just going to fall like way off camera there. But if I put the camera right above the arena and I click on the arena, like why is it going through the ground? See that? That shouldn't happen. Oh, there it landed. Maybe I did the math wrong for where the camera is. Actually, it shouldn't matter where I click. It's going to put it from where the camera is, right? So put this at 90 degrees. It should be a z of 0. Okay, yeah. So, oh, but see, it went right through the ground. It's passing through the ground and not colliding with it. I bet it's because it's too small. It's so small that it's just going through. So it's that CCD thing, right? So if I made it bigger first, test that. So let's make it like a scale of 2. Big block. Camera at the top. There's the big block, and it's falling in. Junk. It lands there. Kick it around. It's too massive to kick. Doesn't even want to move with the maximum force applied to it. How about if I put a 1 in front? Still barely, it's not moving at all. It's too massive. The block's too heavy. Okay, anyway. I think the problem is that it's too small and it's going too fast, and so it goes right through the ground right now. Which I'm going to have to fix anyway, so why not fix it now? Right? So rather than passing through the ground, it should collide through it, and I think we need to turn on CCD for that. So let's figure this out. Ohm, projects rapier, user guide, Rust, advanced collision detection, contact graph, intersection graph, physics hooks, type modification. So I guess it's not under advanced. Oh, here we go. Continuous collision detection. See this section. Okay. It's used to make sure that fast moving objects don't miss context. Is done by motion clamping. This loss of time can be reduced, blah, blah, blah. So I do CCD enabled. Or I can do enable CCD after I create it. Okay, so where do we create the rigid body dynamic? That would be in like that new cube body. Here we go. So bodybuilder, new dynamic, rotation, translation, additional mass. This is where we would do it, right? CCD enabled. through. All right, let's see if that works. So hopefully now, if I don't need to do anything else, even though the cube is moving fast, it should not pass through the ground. Oh, look at that. It stopped. Nice. Add a bunch of diamond blocks. Wow, that's fun in its own right. Let gravity do the shooting. Shoot, gravity. Like ice cubes. Cool. All right. So now I just have to add some velocity when we shoot it. Shoot diamond. Okay, so the velocity is this direction multiplied by some magnitude. Hold on a sec. I'm back, and I got raided. Chair stream raid. Hey there, Kuva Man. How was your stream? Hope you had a good stream. Yeah, we're doing Rust. I'm doing. I'm about to shoot diamond blocks at in my world here. This is all just sandbox. I was learning how to use this GUI library called egui, wgpu for the graphics, and rapier for the physics engine. And I'm working on a new feature now where I can shoot diamond blocks at whatever I'm pointing at. But right now, I don't actually have any velocity, so it creates the block in at the camera and just drops it. So wherever I click, it just drops one from the camera position, right? Not too interesting, right? They don't pass through the ground anymore because I turned on the continuous collision detection, but when we can use gravity to shoot things at it, but I think it would be much more interesting if we gave the bullets a little bit more momentum to start with. No game engine. No, this is low-level libraries I'm playing with. That's original chat overlay idea. That is courtesy of CM Griffing. So CM Griffing made this chat overlay you see above my head. Why the block's so small? Because they're supposed to be bullets. I want to give them a lot of... but I can make them larger. You want bigger diamond blocks? Here, we'll make a chonky diamond block just for you. Compile, link. Things are slow when you want them to be fast, aren't they? Building. Okay, here we go. Drop a huge diamond block. There we go. Oh yeah. It's big. It doesn't care that we explode blocks around it. It barely moves. Oh, I think I got it. I got it to shuffle over a little bit. Quick, create more blocks around it. Oh, and there it goes. I lost sight of it. It already fell into oblivion. Okay, yeah. So when the block is big, it doesn't really interact with other things very much. Oh, there. It squished something. Interesting. Look at that. It landed with something underneath it. I can put one right underneath, right on top. Okay, well, they interact with each other, but yeah. So I'm making them smaller than this mostly because, like, just to make sort of more realistic. If we're thinking about a diamond block as a bullet, I guess I can make it a little bit bigger. But I need to do this final step here, and I only have a few minutes because this is Raimu wants me to pick her up from somewhere. So what can I do here? I think the idea is we get the rigid body out, and just like what we do when we draw, yeah, this get cube body, right? We want to do all this stuff to get the rigid body, and then we just give it some momentum. So let's just copy this, because I don't want the selected cube, do I? It's, well, it's this and, well, like, two things, right? We want that, but it's, and we want this too. some diamond block. If let some diamond block equal that, then this and that. So it's get diamond block. That that's always going to be there. Okay, so then we get that out. The body. Body is an okay. Why is it double unwrapped? Instance option unwrap. Oh, because it might not have a rigid body handle, and even if it has one, we might not find it. So we have to double unwrap this. No. I have to unwrap after. There. Okay. So then with the body, I want to set the I want to set the moment. I want to add a huge force. That's right. Force. Right, so it's just the direction times some magnitude, right? Let's start with like 5. And wake up is true. Alright, let's see if this works. If it works, I gotta run. If it doesn't work, I still have to run. Don't want to get in trouble with Mrs. Raimu. So, yeah. Gonna end the stream soon. Hopefully, though... Oh, there we go. We're shooting blocks. It works. I can make them faster. Pew pew! Pew pew! Pew pew pew! Pew pew! Okay. To give it more momentum. That's easy. Make it shoot harder. 3 times as hard. Do it, do it. I don't have much time. There we go. We're able to shoot diamond blocks into the world. Pew, 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 pew. Blow everything away. Must clear the field. Clear it. Okay, this is more fun than I thought it would be. Actually, it's just as much fun as I thought it would be. So is it clear? We go down to 0? Or we have some blocks that I can't see that are too small? 3? There's 3 blocks somewhere here. Where are they? Where are you? Oh, there's one right there. Die. Oh. The tiny little marble piece. And it's gone. There's 2 more floating around there somewhere. 2 more microscopic little specks. Where are you? Find them. I don't know where. No, there's just 1 left. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Die. Die. I think I got it. Think I got it? Yep. All the cubes are dead. We can always add more though. Thanks for watching. I gotta run. Literally, I gotta run. So we're gonna raid Tim. I'll be back tomorrow though. Right? No, tomorrow's the weekend. I'll be back on Monday. Unless I get bored during the weekend, and then I might have a bonus stream. But yeah, thanks for watching. We had a lot of fun today. Adding new kinds of blocks and adding the continuous collision detection, which lets me shoot things. There's a little bit of a lag right when it impacts. I wonder why that is. But yeah. Bye-bye. See you next time. Hope you enjoyed. See you later.